So in this video what I'm going to do is change the seals on this piston. Some of these pistons can be very difficult to put the new seals on. This specific one is from the Hope Tech lever, but the process is pretty much the same on all of them. One thing that I will say is that obviously you're going to need to know what seals you need. There is on the Hope website, I'll put the link in the description. There is a diagram and it shows you all the parts needed. On this one there is actually some slits in the piston, which if I grab a little screwdriver, just there, if that can pick that up, yeah, it's pretty visible on the camera. Just there is a slit in the piston, so that is one reason that I would get rid of them. They don't look too bloated. We was having some issues with this lever. Normally on this lever, this is a problem, which is the dust seal, and it basically goes on there like so, and it will sit in this area and it will be visible. So if you have these levers and you squeeze the lever and it's really slow to return, it will potentially be one of these three seals that is your problem. So yeah, the dust seals are a bit of a pain on these levers, but yeah, let's get back to this. We're just going to grab a seal removal tool. Oh, the other thing as well, this isn't great either. If you've got seals and stuff, leave them in the packet until you need to use them, because you don't want bits of grit and dirt getting on them and then you put that into your brake. It could actually stop them working if there's a little gap or anything caused by a hair or anything like that, so just be aware of that. We have this tool and we're just going to pry that off. And like I said, it's quite difficult to get the seals back on. Getting them off isn't too bad, because what they tend to do is over time they get softer. But yeah, I'm actually going to go to a little screwdriver here. You just want to be really careful not to scratch this piston too much, because obviously if you put like a gouge in it and then you put the rubber seal on, it's going to eat into that rubber seal and could cause it to prematurely fail. So there we go. We can actually compare that to the new one in a little while to see if it's swollen at all. And then this one, you've kind of got two options. You can take it back that way or take it forward. I'm probably gonna try and take it forward if I can. And if, unlike me, you don't bite your nails could be quite a good tool when you come to removing these and also fitting the new ones. And as long as you kind of wash off the dot fluid from your hands, it's not too bad. Wouldn't worry too much. But yeah, let's dry my hands. If you want, just check your piston, make sure there's no corrosion, because they are aluminium and they do they get a little bit flaky sometimes. This one looks really nice. You might want to kind of clean up the areas where the piston seals are going to sit here and here. So if we look at the piston seals, you should notice that one in the center is a smaller diameter than that one. On the actual piston, tends to be the front one has the smaller diameter, so that one would go with that, and then the rear one would go with that. So yeah, let's get the new pistons and we can kind of just compare them quickly. It would help if I knew where I put them. These are not the ones. Oh, there they are on the light. So there we go. We're going to put big diameter, and small diameter with small diameter. Yeah, I think the old ones are slightly bigger. How well that picks up on camera, I do not know, but definitely put that to the side. I would definitely say that it's quite clear from me looking at these that the old ones have expanded a little bit, so that would have potentially slowed the piston down and made the lever feel a bit sluggish on the return. So one of the best things you can do now is get rid of these two and just chuck them in the bin, because you don't want to mistakenly put them back in there, especially if you kind of touch these a lot and they get wet, and then you might not actually know which is which, especially if their sizes are not too apparently different. So yeah, let's get on to putting it back on. You do have the option with the bigger seal. You could try and take it over this large area and slide it down, because then at least it's held in place, and just pop it over there. I'm going to try to get it over here first. I found that the Tech 3 was probably the most difficult, so it should go over there pretty easily. If you want to use the seal tool and just kind of lever it, or whatever you've got, Obviously you don't want to cut into the seal because you're going to render it useless. There we go, so we're just going to lever that up. And like I said, if you don't bite your nails like me, you can probably use your nails, and they're probably one of the better things to use because they're not going to damage the metal. There we go. And I think the other thing is maybe people worry about ripping them or snapping them. I don't think I've ever had a new seal snap. So we're just going to take you back to your final destination here. And then you might just want to spin that around, hold the piston in place and spin it, make sure there's no kinks or anything. So there you go, move the camera over, it's a definite close up there. There we go, somewhere there. So that's kind of what that looks like. And you can see the tapered part of it faces this little nodule, like so. So the small seals, they seem to be a bit more problematic because you've got to get this little tiny kind of hole over this. So it could be that you just need to kind of try it a few times and then the rubber will actually kind of soften up. I'm just going to grab that like that and lever that back. Are you going to stay on? Yep. And you do have to kind of manhandle them a little bit. It's just the way they are. Like I said, if you're doing a tech-free seal, that can be like real problematic. There we go. There we go, do the same, wipe your seal down. And that's pretty much it. That was probably one of the easier pistons, so it's probably a good choice for me to choose that. And you've got your little spring as well. Yes, in the video, if I've kept it in there, I did talk about the smoothness. So we've rebuilt this, it's got the new piston seals and that in there. And we have a really, what I would say is a beautifully smooth lever action. Everything's smooth, it's smooth going in, and it's also smooth on the return. You've also got a very snappy lever, and this is just part of the adjustment, but you don't want any play down here. So between this cam and this piston, sometimes what happens is the piston gets stuck in with bad seals, and then you'll end up with a situation where you can feel the lever doing that, and that's what was happening with this one. But yeah, nice and snappy, super smooth, there's no point where it's snagging. And there you go, that should be you good, ready to go.